Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, what a great day it's been today. So before we get into the show, let's go through the formalities. If you do like what you see, please do smash that like. It really does help the channel up the search results. So do smash that like. Thank you. Also, if you are brand new at the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come and be part of this great community we have here. And also that bell notification that tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. If you do want to become a member, it's 99p a month. Just click the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that in the chat by clicking on the $sign. So let's start off. What a fantastic result. What a great game. Who would have thought this would have happened at the start? I went for 3-0, you know. Champions League hangover? What Champions League hangover? There's no hangover. We've only gone out there and smashed somebody. So the thing is, somebody was due a hammering. And unfortunately, that hammering has fell on Sheffield United. So we will talk about that in a moment. I'm just going to pop into the comments and then we'll get on with the show. Yes, says, evening, Tony and Uncle Rolly. Close one there, but we pulled through. Close. Well, yeah. Absolutely, mate. Sefton says, Eddie's record breakers owner Amanda Stavely come into the dressing room after the match and brought the news to players that they had brought the record 8 different scorers in one game. Absolutely fantastic. Sefton won it, mate. He says, night all, how are you, the lads? Yeah, enjoy your night at work, Sefton. Holly says, hi, Tony. What a sensational result and a performance from our lads. Absolutely. 8-0 says Jake. Yeah, absolutely. And Ian says, absolutely buzzing. Hey, too right, we're absolutely buzzing. I mean, look, we didn't expect it. We didn't. We saw the team lineups come out. We thought there was going to be, well, not just me. I think a lot of people thought, there'd be quite a few changes in this team because obviously Champions League, we're going to have to rotate and we've got a game on Wednesday. So that was the team that come out. Pope, Trippier, Shea, Byrne, Target, Bruno, Tonali, Almiron, Gordon, Isak. Sorry, we got the wrong team up there. Sorry, guys. There we are. Pope, Trippier, Shea, Botman, Byrne, Bruno, Longstaff, Anderson, Almiron, Barnes, Wilson. I do apologise about that. Clicked the wrong button. So we saw that team and we saw there was a couple of changes there. Obviously, across the front three, we had Almiron and Barnes on the flanks and Wilson in the middle. Tonali on the bench. So we thought, that's not a bad side at all. Quite a strong side, considering, like I say, we've had Champions League as well. And then we saw the Sheffield United team come out. And that is the Sheffield United team there. Not many household names in that side. Not many that we knew a lot of. Obviously, we knew that striker Ollie McBurney was suspended. Not that he was a miss, to be fair. I don't think he's that great of a player, in all honesty. That was their team anyway for this game. Look, we started the game. Sheffield United had a couple of chances. Luke Thomas had a good chance to score. Didn't score. So they didn't take their chances, but we certainly took our chances. And, I felt sorry for Harvey Barnes when he went down with that injury. And I was hoping, it's not going to be serious. He's going to shake this injury off and he's going to get up and carry on. And sadly, he just couldn't carry on, could he? Harvey Barnes. And he had to go off. So Anthony Gordon got an early introduction. So he came on earlier than what we thought Anthony Gordon would have come on, to be fair, considering he's started every game for us. But he came on, and within a few minutes of being on, he sets up the first goal for Longstaff. The ball hits his leg, then his hand, but it's not handball. As we all know, that's not a handball. And the ball literally did not go out completely because the curvature of the ball was just on the line. So that means it's still within the parameters of being in play. If that ball's nowhere near the line and it's clearly over the line, then it will be. but that ball was just touching on the line, so it was still in play. You got to remember back to that goal in the World Cup, Japan over Spain. You know how far their ball looked out, but because it was just in, that was exactly similar to that. And then Sean Longstaff put the ball away into the back of the net and made it 1-0. And Sean Longstaff's probably upset a lot of people for that bet, because they probably didn't have Longstaff for the first goal. They probably had Wilson for that first goal. And a lot of bets are probably ripped up now for that one. But who cares, you know? And then, obviously, 10 minutes later, corner comes in. Dan Burn gets his head on it into the back of the net. Dan Burn makes it 2-0. Absolutely fantastic. And we just seemed to be quite in control of that game then, didn't we? You know, we seemed well in control. 2-0, you thought, right, okay, it's not game over completely, because 2-0 can be a dangerous scoreline. But you know, we just thought, right, let's crack on and try and get another one. And then obviously 4 minutes later, we get a free kick. Trippier puts a beautiful ball in, and Sven Botman knocks it in with the back of his head into the back of the net. Foderingham nowhere near it. I think he dived too late, in all honesty, to get anywhere near that ball. It was in the back of the net, and it was 3-0. And we could have maybe scored another one in that half, but Foderingham saved against Wilson. So 3-0 it was at half time, after the 6 minutes of injury time that they had. Then second half turns up, and Sheffield United had a little bit of a go, because at the end of the day, they wanted to, if they even scored a goal and won that second half 1-0, it was a victory for them, because, you know, they got walloped in the first half. The scene didn't last long, 56 minutes, and what a beautiful goal. What a beautiful goal from Callum Wilson. Look, great play from Trippier, lovely way to cross from Trippier. Callum's there with his head in the back of the net, makes a 4-0. And you're just thinking, wow, how many are we going to score here? Because it's just like, boom, you know. And then 5 minutes after that, Anthony Gordon scores with a beautiful curling shot. Past Foderingham, no chance for Foderingham whatsoever. And what a beautiful goal from Gordon. And that player's been on fire. He's been on fire since he played in the Euros. But I always did say, people did say about Anthony Gordon, and they did say that, a lot of fans weren't wanting him at Newcastle. We don't want Anthony Gordon here. We don't want him. He's not that great. And I always said, prior to us signing him, I said, look, give this lad a chance. Yes, he's a rough diamond, but he needs smoothing out. And I'll tell you what it is. From what I said back then, I still stand by that now. I still had the faith that this guy could be a great player. And I always said, when he was at Everton, he was under the wrong coaching team. When you're being coached by a manager in Frank Lampard and his coaching team, then you ain't going places. And yes, it's took Anthony Gordon a while to settle in, because he's had to get used. He's had to get used to the different training methods of Eddie Howe. He said that at the end of the season, he didn't have the best of the time that he came in to Newcastle, because he said he was out of breath. That was because of the training methods. But he's gone on. He went to the Euros, played well for England under 21s. They won the tournament. He was player of the tournament. And I think that match sharpness he got there, then him having a 7-day holiday, even though Eddie Howe wanted him to have 2 weeks, and he only said, I'll have seven days, shows the attitude of the guy. He's come back, he's worked his bollocks off, and he's proven it week in, week out now, what a player he is. And all these Everton fans who are laughing, saying, you've took Anthony Gordon for £45 million and all this, that could end up being a snip. Because I tell you now, this lad could easily get into double figures in the scoring charts. And it's great to see him with a smile on his face. And I think actually it's a fitting tribute for, if anybody's new on here, they probably haven't seen me do this before. But when if Anthony Gordon scores, I normally play this clip. So there we go. When it comes on. There we are. So yes, so Flash Gordon certainly got on the score sheet today, and he was absolutely brilliant. And then 5 minutes after that, Miguel Almiron weighs in with a goal number 6, and finished it with his left foot in the right place at the right time. Another great goal. I think by then Sheffield United had gave up completely in that game. I think they gave up. Then we saw Bruno get on the score sheet as well, and obviously he put the ball up his shirt, so we know his wife is expecting another baby, to make it 7. And you sort of think, and I'm thinking at that stage, do you know what? We could get 10. Could we get 10 and actually break the record? Or am I just being greedy here? But the way we were playing, that was like, wow, we're just blowing these out the water. And then 14 minutes later, Alexander Isak, great bit of skill from Isak. I mean, poor defending from Sheffield United, let's be honest. He sat the defender down on his backside in the box and tricked Foderingham, waited for Foderingham to go down, which he did do, and Isak just picked his spot. Let's put it in the back of the net and let's make it 8-0. We had chances to score again, but we just didn't get them. And I thought the referee added rubbed salt into the wounds when he added another 6 minutes on at the end of that half for the injury time. But all in all, I thought it was a great professional performance. We had the 3 defeats, yes, against City, Liverpool and Brighton. Eddie Howe still says that Liverpool defeat hurts him a lot, because he knew that was a game we could have won and probably should have won. But look, we've got to Bramall Lane. Not an easy place to go to. Remember, Man City went there and only won 2-1. And Man City dominated that game but could only score 2. So for us to go there and take them apart, and not just take them apart, but take them apart by a huge margin of 8-0, it's absolutely fantastic. And yes, some people could call it the Saudi Arabian derby if you want to, because obviously their owner's Saudi Arabian, as well as our owners being from PIF in Saudi Arabia. So we won that derby, if that's what you want to say. But, it's been a great day all round. I mean, look, the Mackems got beat 1-0 off Cardiff City. Couldn't have asked for a better result there. It's just made our result even more fantastic. And the fact that we beat Sheffield United, who actually play in red and white. And I just wonder, are Sheffield United Sunderland in disguise? They've got their manager's an ex-Mackem as well. It just makes it even better, doesn't it? You just couldn't write the script. And I just couldn't believe that we got 8 goals. And the thing is, it's a record as well, because it's not the record score, because the record score is obviously 9-0, but it's a record because 8 different scorers have scored the goals. Not one scorer has scored more than 1. And that's what's made the result even better. And fantastic result. Sort of performance you want. Burnley will not look forward to come to St James's Park next week. Absolutely not. They will not look forward to that at all. We have City midweek. Yes, we're not going to smash City 8-0, by the way. We'll probably change the team around. But I tell you what, if we can go on that... But the confidence from this game will now be using. And City will not like coming to St James's Park on Wednesday. Depends what team Pep Guardiola puts out. But not only have we won 8-0 against Sheffield United, the women, on the other hand, were away to Bradford City, another team in Yorkshire, and the women won 9-0. So, what a day today, Newcastle versus Yorkshire, 17-0. So, yeah, what a great day. What a great day. And, we saw a lot of Sheffield United fans leaving the ground, and rightly so, because why do you want to sit there and watch your team just being trounced like that, the way they were? I know it was different when I was at St James's Park when we played Arsenal back in 2011, when we, or 2012, sorry, Well, anyway, when we were 4-0 down at half time, or 3-0 down after 18 minutes, and I know a lot of people were walking out the ground then, I stayed. And I stayed because we come back into that game. We drew 4-4. But for those Sheffield United fans, they must have been sick. And there was one team was going to get a hammering off us. And today, unfortunately, that team ended up being Sheffield United getting the hammering. You know, now I know it's sad that when a manager comes under pressure and you know a manager's going to probably get the sack. If Paul Heckingbottom gets the sack tomorrow, that's another manager Eddie Howe's got sacked. And it always seems to come that a manager gets sacked off the back end of a hammering from Newcastle. Eddie Howe's got a great record of getting rid of managers. So, the last manager to get sacked that Eddie Howe waved off was Christian Stellini of Tottenham when we beat them 6-1 at home. But not only was that 8-0 a great result for us today, and I mean great, as in 8, great, but once we hit 6, that was our highest win away in any division. So there you go. So in any division, hitting 6 away from home was our highest win. So we've had our highest win away from home completely. I know a lot of people might turn around and go, oh, other fans of other clubs are probably going to say, oh, but yeah, that's only Sheffield United you've beat. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you can only play and beat what's in front of you. And Eddie Howe said at the end of the game, he says, I wasn't resting on 3-0 and he says, I say this to the players every time, you keep on going. You keep on going. You score as many goals as you possibly can. He says, I don't want them sitting there thinking the 3-0, we're comfortable, let's do that. Carry on playing. And he's right, because it can be dangerous. You could sit back and say, oh, well, 3-0 up. It's an easy game, this. Just see the second half out and we've won it. All it takes is that team to score one goal and then their tails are up. So we're doing the right thing by carrying on and saying, no, let's keep on going and let's try and score more goals. I'm going to jump into some comments because the comments are flying in. We'll talk, well, it's not hard to pick a man of the match because I have got my man of the match in my head. Right, let's get to the comments. Sorry, I'll get there. Andrew says, good evening all, hope you're all well. Any news on Barnes? I've not heard anything on Harvey Barnes at the moment, Andrew, so I'm not sure what's happening with that. Ian says, how's Barnes' injury? Again, we're not sure. Let's hope it's not too serious. Let's hope it's just a precaution. Mad Max says, your 3-0 prediction was right, Tony, but that was just the first half. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Because I thought, well, I just thought, I don't, it was like 3-0. I'm thinking, Jesus, I predicted this for the full-time result, not for the half-time result. I wish I'd put that on the bet for the half-time. I wonder what 8-0 would have been, It's just amazing, isn't it? Ian's buzzing. Mason says, even an 8-0 win and the Mackems losing in the dying minutes. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. It's perfect, isn't it? Absolutely perfect. Sefton says, I watch you some catch up through the night. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Thanks very much, Sefton. Enjoy your work off Wiedersehen. Andrew says, I didn't know you were coming on and get in. Yeah. Andrew, your 7-0 prediction got thrown out the window, mate. Isn't it? Andrew Turnbull says, isn't it just great? You look at where we are a couple of years ago, our bench was worth a tenner. Eddie's bought £200 million worth off that bench. That must worry any of our rivals. Exactly. I mean, when you saw Tonali, Isak coming on, Livramento, you're thinking, God, unbelievable, isn't it? It was nice to see. It was nice to see Lewis Hall get a run as well. Tanji says, special mention for Elliot Anderson today. What a fantastic performance he had everywhere. Yes, he was, Tanji, absolutely. And the fact that some fucking, excuse my language, but some fucking idiot in the crowd decided that when Sven Botman scored, and we were celebrating in front of their crowd, that's fair enough. But do not throw bottles at football matches, whether it's a plastic bottle or not, where they're full of stuff, they can still hurt. And Elliot Anderson got hit on the head with a water bottle, well, what looked like a water bottle thrown from the crowd. I hope that scumbag is identified, brought to justice, and rightly banned. Because, no matter what, we've seen it at St James's Park. I've seen it before I remember when Spurs played against us, probably going back to Pardew time, and we were 1-0 up, and Spurs equalised in the last minute, and Aaron Lennon scored, and where I sat in the Sir John Allstand right at the front, he come right past us celebrating, But did we throw things at him? No, not at all. So I hope that thug is caught. I really do. And I hope the book's thrown at Sheffield United. Predator, well. That was a little bit better than we all expected. Yeah. Who said we had a Champions League hangover? Rolly says, great result. I expect us to win, but not by that much. Not at all. I think you said 2-1, Rolly. Wayne says, hi, Tony. What a result. But proud of the whole team. They were just a class act from start to finish. Could have hit double figures. Absolutely could have hit double figures. And you know what? If we had, it would have been absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it? But you know what? Hey, let's be happy. We've got 8 goals. Ruined the 7-0. Absolutely. Lewis says he wasn't expecting that. I don't think anybody was, Lewis. To be honest, if I'd said to you on my show, I predict us to win 8-0, people would have laughed at me. And I probably would have thought, what have I been drinking? Trevor says, what a match, great result. Yeah, absolutely, Trevor. And you had a good result for Leeds yesterday. Lewis says it could have been easy double figures as well. Yeah, absolutely. I will say some of those tackles in from Sheffield United were filthy. Should have been at least a man sent off with that player went through Longstaff. Do you know what? Yes, Jack Robinson, I mean, look, he was lucky to stay on the field. He really was. I thought that was a red card, but if it wasn't. The same with that Bosnian as well, who they have at the back, Sheffield United. I thought he was a red card waiting to happen as well, because I thought Gordon caused him a lot of problems. I love it when teams are ruthless and turn the screw. More of it, please. Absolutely, Andrew. Do you know what? That's the thing. That's what I like about Eddie Howe, saying to everybody, look, I don't want you just resting on 3-0. I want you to score more. And that's how it should be. Because how many times have we seen it where teams take their foot off the gas after being so comfortable, and then you could end up losing that game. It's amazing. Trevor says, should that be a record for 8 different scorers? It is, Trevor. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, it is a record. Anyone remember Eric Ten Hag crying last season about too many matches on the bounce? Yeah. And what have we just done? We've played 3 in 7 days. And, well, you could say 8 days, actually, because it's last Saturday we played. But we've played 3 in 8 days. And we've got 2 wins and a draw. Andrew Turnbull says, the only negative that I saw for us was that Tonali and Bruno seemed to want to cover the same area. Is this not clear evidence that they can't play together? More work needs to be done there. Yeah, I noticed that as well, Andrew. And yeah, maybe it does, yeah. But again, I'm sure Eddie will work on that. Alan says, great win. Confidence will be better for the City game. Good, so many different scorers. Absolutely. It's great that you share the goals around the team. That's what's important. And 2 of the goals coming from the defence as well. So even better. Lewis can't be for match of the day too. Yeah, that starts at 10:30 tonight. I wonder if we're first on, because I'm sure we should be. Trevor says he played well today. Alan says Gordon seems worth the money now. He does. And do you know what? If you go back, if some people don't believe that I've said this about Gordon, give the guy a chance. He's a rough diamond. Go back and watch the transfer video I did on Anthony Gordon. And in there, you'll see me praising him so much and saying, look, while he's probably not a glamour signing for some people, but the thing is, he will come good. And I'm being proved right. I knew he would come good under Eddie Howe. Andrew says, Turnbull says, match of the day 2. You mean the Man City match? I think he means tonight's match of the day 2, Andrew. Yeah. Andrew says, Tony, we had chats on here about signing Flash Gordon. He's earned my respect and happy to be proven wrong. Absolutely. I think Gordon's enjoying his football again now. Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? I just think Everton was such a toxic club for Anthony Gordon. Let's be honest. It's a toxic club. We know what they're like. And but that lad has played he started this season off so well. And he deserves to be starting. It was nice to see us put Harvey Barnes in tonight. And I mean, look, I really wanted to see Harvey Barnes do so well. And I was gutted for him when he went off injured, because I was kind of hoping, we were going to see something from Harvey, but we didn't. And as I say, let's hope his injury isn't too serious. But this guy came on, and he's just the business, Anthony Gordon. And you can see the delight in his face scoring there. I just want to play the Mackems. Can you imagine Anthony Gordon against Sunderland? Whoa, jeez. If that's his celebration against Sheffield United, God, what would it be like against Sunderland? What would any of the players be like against Sunderland? That's the thing. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. And just so pleased. Andrew, no. Well, Andrew DB says, totally agree, Trevor. His Euros really showed it. Lewis says, credit all Sheffield fans who stayed until the end. True fans who is the right to the end. Even the game beat by a hell of a lot. I was surprised it didn't empty, to be fair. Andrew says, Bruno totally bossed that midfield. Yes, he looked better today. I think Bruno looked better because that contract's been taken off his mind now and he signed it. And I think that's what was hanging over him, if I'm honest. Is Gordon not the lad we should be looking at for the central attacking midfield role, the one who we thought Madison would take? Do you know what? That's not a bad shout, That's not a bad shout. Geordie says, how are the effing that? Yeah, absolutely, mate, definitely. And he says, Wednesday fans are very happy, I believe. I bet they are. You can imagine they're celebrating this like hell. Andrew DB says, anyone else notice Bruno's keeping his cool a lot more? Progress, absolutely. Yeah, he is, Andrew. And as I say it again, I think it's down to the fact that he signed this new deal. And that's what I think it's down to at the end of the day. If they play like that against City, they'll smash City, says Trevor. Yeah. It'll be a different game against City, that's for sure. I laughed at the woman reading her book. The woman reading her book, she must have been reading 50 Shades of Red and White shite. I couldn't believe it when I saw that. There was a lady at the match sitting reading a book, and I thought, well, I suppose the book's probably more interesting watching what was on the bloody field. Are you Sunderland in disguise? Are they Sunderland in disguise? Absolutely. Thought Bruno was very good today. Yeah, he was brilliant, Alan, wasn't he? I mean, there is talk around Sheffield that they've actually been in touch with Chris Wilder to see what his availability is. So does that mean that they're on their way to getting rid of Paul Heckingbottom? But this has been going on for a few weeks now, not just recently. Lewis says to Newcastle chanting, are you Sunderland in disguise? I think they were. Sheffield United. John says, afternoon, Tony, up you well. What a game. 8 different scorers. Absolutely, John. What a fantastic game that was. Absolutely brilliant from start to finish. And you know what? That's how you do it. That's how you do it. And that 8-0 win, yes, okay, people are going to say, oh, but yeah, it's against a promoted team from the Championship and they've struggled all season. I don't care if they've struggled all season. That is a kind of result you need to get your confidence back. And I think that result now will send us full of confidence going into that City game. But Burnley will not want to come to St James's Park next Saturday. They will not relish that. Let's be honest. No Tony City 7. Lewis says, especially under the lights as well. Burnley 9-0, says Andrew DB. Apparently Vincent Company has thrown a sickie when we play them, says Mad Mag. I wouldn't blame him. Lewis says it was a Newcastle women developer team. I have a friend whose sister plays for the team. All right, okay then. Well, still, it doesn't matter. They still won. Trevor says, do you think the players are happy now since Eddie's House took over? Absolutely. I mean, look, the man's done well for us, you know. We were on we should have been relegated that season, in all honesty. Not when you don't win your first 14 when you don't win in your first 14 games, you normally get relegated. And Eddie turned that around and kept us up. You know, players like Bruno, Kieran Trippier taking a chance. You know, Trippier leaving the Spanish champions Atletico Madrid to come and play for Newcastle, who are in a relegation zone. Bruno leaving a team in France and Europe to come and play in a relegation zone. He took a chance on his career. And we got out of it. So, yeah, the fans are, well, the players, yeah, they're probably absolutely delighted with Eddie Howe. I mean, look, he's got great coaching ethics. We know what he's like. We know how he wants to play the game. And, yeah, and the players are all for him. Now then, if we go back a few weeks ago when we played Brighton, all these fans that were coming out, not every fan, but I'm just saying some of these fans that were coming out the woodwork, Eddie Howe out, get him sacked, get him out, international breaks on, sack Eddie Howe, get Nagelsmann in, get rid of Howe, and all this going on. And there was even somebody done a YouTube video on saying get rid of Eddie Howe. Now then, I would like to know if you do watch this channel, those fans that wanted Eddie Howe out, what do you think now? Do you want him out now or do you want to keep him? Because I bet you right now, I bet you're all thinking, oh, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe you shouldn't have said Eddie Howe out. Absolutely not. Because the thing is, he's got plenty of credit in the bank, and two, if the club had no faith in him, yes, they could have got rid of him during the international window, but they didn't, because they have every faith in Eddie Howe turning it around. It's exactly what he's done. We went and beat Brentford. He was probably under pressure going into that game against Brent. Not under pressure as a manager, but he probably just felt under pressure that he wanted to get a win for us. And we got that win. We got an absolutely fantastic result in Milan. Not many teams are going to go there and get a draw in Milan, let's be honest. And considering a lot of our players hadn't played in Champions League before. And then today to go out and smash Sheffield United 8-0 after a Champions League game. I don't have to say no more. But all I will say is those people who did want Eddie out, shame on you. Longstaff underrated, absolutely Paul Stones, exactly. And do you know what it is? I don't know if anybody else agrees with me in the chat. Do you think it's time Longstaff was called up for England? Is he good enough? Is he better than Jordan Henderson? I say yes. You know, I think Southgate needs to have a look at him. I really do. And I think Anthony Gordon will be in that England team in the not too distant future. You know, so I think Sean Longstaff, yeah, I think he should definitely be in the England team. I think so. And, you know, also we know this lad could be soon in an England shirt as well, Elliot Anderson, you know, pulled out the Scotland team with some sort of mysterious injury, which wasn't there, all because Southgate turned his head and said, I want you to play for England. So he had his head turned and he pulled out the Scotland squad saying he had an injury. And a lot of reports going around saying he didn't actually have an injury. He just didn't want to be there because he was thinking England. So, you know, so it's great to see that we could have players representing us in the England team like we do with Wilson and Trippier. But I definitely think Longstaff could be in that England team. Burnley next weekend, chance for another few goals, says Alan. Absolutely, Alan. Shame it's not on TV, 3 p.m. kickoff. I wanted to be greedy, absolutely. Longstaff was a beast today. Every player was up for it. Yeah, absolutely. I did say after that Brighton game, I thought when I looked at that midfield of Bruno, Tonali and J7, although J7 wasn't fully fit that day either, it was missing Longstaff. Trevor said, have you noticed you can't get a ticket for the tune since Mr. Blobby sold the club? Do you know what? You're absolutely spot on, Trevor. I'm gutted because what I should have done was that season when we got taken over, I should have bought a season ticket in the August. I nearly did, and I should have bought one. If I had of, I would have been fine because I'd had a season ticket now. Trips man of the match. He was great today, John, absolutely. Andrew says, did you see that bit of skill turn late on? Bruno did. Beat his man, gave it to Longstaff. Long he gave it away, but Bruno bollocked him, lol. Yeah, I saw that. It was brilliant. Mighty Max says, evening, Tony. Hope you're well. What a great game. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And Tony, keep these live videos. Love them. Thanks, mate. Yeah. No, it's just I've been really busy of late, so I haven't had as many lives out as much as I was wanting to get out. Because obviously I'm on holiday in a few weeks, so I've been trying to sort stuff out for that and things like that. So yeah, it's just when you're coming home from work, you've got to do other stuff. It's just trying to get shows done. But now, try and give them. And when I am on holiday in 3 weeks' time, I will do a couple of vlogs so you can. And I definitely will bring you the pre-match live for the England game as well, because I will be making sure I get into a bar to watch that in Benidorm. So that's where I'll be watching the England game, because it's England-Italy. What a result, says Clark. Yeah, absolutely. Gareth says, good evening, Tony. A great result, great Newcastle win as well. Cardiff beating the Mackhams by my home city club. Absolutely, Gareth. Do you know what? That's what I'm saying. It's you couldn't ask for a more perfect day. 8 goals, and then the Mackhams getting beat as well. It's just brilliant, isn't it? Well done, Cardiff City. Andrew says, greatest thing for us now is most games we could choose 4 or 5 man of the match candidates. A dream for us, that it is, absolutely. Geordie boys are taking over, says Lewis. Gary Douglas. Hi, Gary D. Not seen you for a while, but nice to see you. We put 8 past Sheffield Wednesday 24 years ago. We put 8 past Sheffield Wednesday today, Tony, mate. Well, Sheffield United today, not Wednesday, mate. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yes, and that was the first game under Bobby Robson when we put 8 past them, wasn't it? You know, after Rod Hull it went. So yeah, it absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? Clarky says it was a bottle of 7-Up. Turned out it should have been 8-Up. Yeah. Paul Hansen says, evening, Tony. Gordon man the match for me. Hope Barnes is okay. Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Gordon was absolutely fantastic today. He was everywhere. I thought he had a great game, considering he came on for Harvey Barnes. He probably didn't expect to get on that early. But you could see the minute Gordon came on, he was there up for it. And I like the fact we were pressing their defence today. We were pressing their goalkeeper. You know, Longstaff, Wilson, Gordon, we're all trying to get on the keeper, forcing them into mistakes, kicking it out for throw-ins. I thought that was really, really great today. I just thought it was a great all-round performance, considering we've had a Champions League game and everybody's like, oh, how they're going to react after a Champions League game. Well, if we have a Champions League game, we go out and win 8-0, then yeah, that's a great reaction, isn't it? Paul Stone says, really want Anderson to score today to get the 3 local lads on the score sheet. That would have been absolutely amazing, wouldn't it? Mad Max has completely forgot about the water bottle incident. Hopefully a stadium ban for the culprit. Absolutely, yeah. I wonder if that's when Gordon's shot was. I was wondering if he was looking for the guy in the crowd. Andrew says, a bottle chucker should walk through the big market. Yeah, he wouldn't last 2 minutes, Andrew. Not in the big market, mate. Clarky says, honestly, I was expecting a close, tough game, but I would have taken a 1-0. Well, yeah, you would have. There was no red cards in that game for me. It was unbelievable because I thought that Bosnian defender was a red card waiting to happen. But also, like I say, I thought that was a red card. But I thought that Jack Robinson should have been sent off as well. Kate Dag says, hi, Tony, how are you doing? Hope NUFC gets another 8-0 on Wednesday night against City. We'll probably not get 8-0 against City, but even if we get a win against City and get through the next round of the Cup, because I think that will be justice for us as well, after considering that we were given the wrong ball number. So yeah, let's hope we do get through. John says it had to happen to some team was going to get hiding from us. Absolutely. Definitely, John. For me, it was a blatant penalty. Thus far, should have intervened. Felt like it was a let off because the game was over 3-0. Do you know what, Pierre? That's exactly what I thought, because Gordon was taken out. But again, it shouldn't matter. It doesn't matter what scoreline it is. VAR should still say, referee, you need to go to the monitor. You've made an error. Go big or go home. We certainly went big, says Lewis. Absolutely. Definitely a pen it was. Andrew says, if we keep breaking records, Roy Castle and Norris McWhirter will be popping into St James's Park. Are they actually still alive? That's dedication. John D says, yeah, it was definitely a pen. VAR used against us as usual. Bruno Tonali might take 20 games to click by Trust House, says Clarkey. Absolutely. Wayne says, I knew Gordon was worth the money we spent. That's why Eddie wanted him so bad. Pure talent, I knew it. Yeah, absolutely. Always loved the Gordon signing and always backed him, even though there were plenty that didn't. Fair play to the lad and much more to come. Remember, he's only young, this guy. He's only 22. So he's got a long way to go in the game. And, you know, the thing is, Everton fans, you know, they'll keep saying, oh, you wasted money on Gordon. I don't think we have. John says, Gordon was treated so bad by Everton fans, just shows you what a bit of love can do. Absolutely. When Anthony Gordon come on, he changed the game for us, says Lewis. He did, absolutely, mate. Tanji says, 3 clean sheets in a row now. It was around this time last season we went on a run of being hard to score against, coincidentally. Yeah, absolutely, Tanji. And Eddie Howe did say that in before the game. He did say, you know, he's concerned because we were conceding a few goals towards the back end of last season and start this season. But now we've tightened up again. Lewis says, what do you think the score will be if we were playing Sunderland today? Totally different game, Lewis, because it's a derby match. But I would still expect us to go out there and absolutely smash them. And I think we would smash them. It would be great to play the Mackhams, you know. Because I reckon a lot of our players would be, well, all of our players would be up for that match. Trevor says, be more red cards in that match, 2 against Mackhams. There probably could be, to be fair. Clarky says, what was that lady reading? I think she was. I think it was Tanju said she was reading 50 Shades of Red and White Shade. So yeah, probably. You could see on his face, Bruno, when he scored. Yeah, absolutely, John. How to be a manager. She was reading 8 Expectations. Yeah. Brucey's on his way. Do a decent kebab in Yorkshire, says beer. Absolutely. Andrew says, I think that book was made into a Netflix series, Viking. We watched Fast and Furious 8. This is a statement scoreline, says Lewis. Chelsea will be relegated this season, says Jake. Do you know what? The way they're playing is just, yeah. I've been on the Sheffield diet today. I ate out, says Paul. I like it, Paul. Well said, mate. Well done. Tanji says, I've said this so many times, when we don't crowd out the keeper without our players being on the goal line, we will score more goals from corners, free kicks and crosses. Yeah, definitely. John says there's going to be a few teams worried sick to having to play us. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think Burnley will not like coming next week. We are plus 12 goal difference, Man U already. We'll finish above Man United. Jack, evening Jack, hope you're well. He says, evening Tony, let's just say my Sheffield United mates are going to have a terrible week and it's going to be my pleasure. Do you know what, Jack? Rub it in, mate. Rub it in. You tell them, Jack. You just rub it into them and say, look, you know, what time is it? Is it 8 yet? Yeah. You're right, Jack. Great shout, Longy for England, but Southgate is a cock, says Andrew. Even possibly Elliot Anderson might even get picked for England because he's now considering switching nationality. Yeah, that's why he pulled out the Scotland squad with a mysterious illness or injury. Them fans who said that will go back under the rocks they've climbed out of Tony, mate, says Gary. Absolutely, Gary. Definitely, mate. Lee, good evening, Lee. Hope you're well. Where were you this afternoon? Evening, Tony and everyone. What a result. Get in there. What a day. What a tune day. Fantastic. Full credit, Eddie, and the players 100%. Absolutely. Longstaff's only 25. Exactly. Is Longstaff better than Henderson, lol? Is that a serious question? Of course he is. Absolutely. I don't read Henderson. Longstaff should definitely be in the England squad, but Southgate picks his favourite, says John. Yeah. Rather pull Henderson all the way from Saudi Arabia. What's happened to Murphy? I don't know. He didn't get on, did he? But again, he didn't need to come on, did he? My Nana's better than Henderson. Yeah. Maybe he's rested Murphy for Wednesday. Got my ticket for Wednesday. Can't bloody wait, but I'm also a season ticket. Yeah, nice one, Lewis. I think Longstaff and Anderson have a few players in front of them in England's midfield. Yeah, maybe. Work comes first. I'm absolutely bloody delighted, Jack, but I'm also really good. Trevor says Leeds fan, but thinking of buying a Newcastle. I think they're buying a Newcastle shirt. There you go. Why not? Bia said I've started calling my missus Sheffield United because she kicks off every 5 minutes. So for God's sake, Bia, Jesus. Or make a point of missing that show when you're in Benidorm, lol. Could have been 9. Could have been 9 as one got ruled out. Yeah, it did. Yeah, for offside. Player of the match, Anthony Gordon, says Lewis. Could have been double figures if Wilson took his chances. Yeah, a couple of them were too close to the goalkeeper, weren't they? Kieran Trippier becomes the second player in history to create 3-headed assists in a single game. Absolutely fantastic stats in it. They were dirty foot, leaving in their foot after every tackle. Yes, they were. They were very, very dirty. It's very possible it could go to penalties against City on Wednesday night. Yeah, and let's hope we win it. It's corrupt the Premier League, says Lewis. Gordon in the Champions League or Everton in the Champions League? No, they aren't. Absolutely. Gary says, can you imagine when we play Sheffield United at home and we do them 8-0 again? That's 16 goals in 2 games, Tony. Absolutely, Gary, absolutely, mate. Could have a different manager by then. Best you can hope for is getting in the FA Cup. That's the Mackems, absolutely. They start to come to St James's. Just remember, we have 3 home games in a row. Yeah. I sit next to a Sheffield United mate in maths, and when it's 8, I'm going to say, whisper in his ear, 8, lol. You're the spit of Henry Cavill. Tanji says that strip was certainly good luck for us today. Yeah, wasn't it just? Yeah. Because remember the third kit last year, the white and green one, that wasn't the best of kits, was it, for us? Although we did beat Everton 4-1 away. I Tanji a lot better. Could have been even more. Yeah. Really enjoyed that match day. 8-0, says David. Absolutely, mate. Had to call out electric. Ran out, but had to top it up, Tony. 8, no worries, mate. Get your electric sorted out. That's what you've got to do. If only we could beat Man U at 8-0. Do you know what? That's a possibility if Ten Hag's still in charge. He got a lucky win yesterday against Burnley, let's be honest. But you know what? If we go out there on Saturday and smash Burnley, Man U fans might say, well, hang on a minute. Why didn't we win more than 1-0? Do you prefer the black shorts or the yellow shorts with a third shirt? The yellow shorts. I thought they looked better. Heard a Sheffield fan on TalkSport earlier saying Oram is corrupt. First three goals should not have stood. The Premier's corrupt. How on earth should the three goals have not stood? Idiots. I wore last season's away shirt today, only second time lucky. The blue and gold strip was lucky last season as well. Yes, it was, wasn't it, Tangi? Yes. Yes, it definitely was. I mean, like I say, we don't know what the seriousness is of the Harvey Barnes injury, but I'm sure as soon as we know, we will find out. Just seeing if I can say anything on his injury, but there's nothing coming through at the minute, so we don't know. The Northern Echo are reporting has got an injury, but they're not saying what it is. I don't think we know what his injury is, to be fair. Just seeing if I can see anything on here about it. Oh, I've got something here about it. So Eddie Howe says it doesn't look too good. I think he has a toe problem. He pushed off and felt something in his toe. Early signs there's probably an injury there, but we won't know at this moment. Eddie has also gone on to say that Elliot Anderson hasn't spoken to Eddie Howe about the incident of the water bottle, but he says he did see things being thrown, which isn't what we want to see. He says, my initial thought was for the welfare of the players. So Elliot Anderson hasn't said nothing about the water bottle, but what he does say is it looks like a toe injury, but they don't know what the extent of the injury is yet. So has he fractured it, dislocated it, whatever? We don't know. So hopefully we'll find out in due course, and let's hope that that Harvey Barnes gets back to playing as soon as. But I was so happy to see him play today to give him a run out because I just want to see him succeed, and I just felt so sorry for him when he went off injured. But then Anthony Gordon came on and turned on a match-winning performance for us, didn't he? You know, what a player. Ian Toon Trader, all right, lads and lasses. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine, Ian. I hope you're well too, mate. Great result, mate. Great result. And I mean great as in the word 8, as it states in the title. The shirt I wore when I first got it was when we beat Spurs 6-1. So let's just say it's a lucky shirt. Let's hope. That's it then. I'll be sticking to that away shirt from this day forth. Mbappe looks to be injured. Wow. So he could be out for the PSG game. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? I don't fear PSG come to St James's Park. And we're hearing when Dortmund come to St James's Park, Borussia Dortmund, they are planning a protest. And it's not a protest against our ownership, by the way. It's a protest against our prices for the Champions League games for £60. We are charging the same as PSG did. And they protested at PSG as well last week. So basically, it's come from a Dortmund's fans group, and what they're basically saying is they think £60 is far too much money. A ticket for a Champions League game should be more like £17. And I'm like, are you sure about that? £17? I thought so. Basically, Dortmund want to play less to watch a Champions League game than what you would pay to watch a League Two game. Because to watch a League Two game, you're talking about 18, 19 quid. So they want to pay less than what you watch at a League Two game. Not happening. So they can protest all they want. In other words, if you don't want to pay the £60, don't pay it, don't come, because I'm sure we'll fill that stand with Newcastle fans. Lewis says, now in 15 minutes till match of the day too. David says, I'm still on Dreamland. I'm absolutely shocked when we scored 8. I wasn't expecting that scoreline. Nobody was. I said 3-0 at the start. I said 3-0. Well, I got the 3-0 right, but just in the wrong half time. Harry, Tony, mate, what a performance that was. Do you know what, Ian? Absolutely fantastic performance. Absolutely brilliant. The whole team played well. Absolutely brilliant. And so I think the first goal was hand, second goal, hand off Share, third should not have been a free kick that led to a goal. Uh, we just got stuff for us, and that was it. The first goal did stand because it did because the rules have changed. If the ball hits the leg and then hits the hand, it's not a handball, apparently, because it's not hit the hand first. And the curvature of that ball wasn't out of play fully either, so that's why that was checked as well. Fingers crossed when it comes. You just felt it going. You just want to make sure it's not bad. Hopefully not. Don't wash it. Gary says, "Hi Tony. Didn't know you were on, mate." No, sorry, Gary. Did you not get a notification, mate? Oh, right, okay. You should have got one. But nice to see you, mate. What a result, eh, Gary? Gary says, "Been looking out for it since the match ended." Well, we're here now, mate. We're here now. What's your thoughts on today's game, Gary? Trevor says Sheffield United are retaining the number 8 shirt, lol. Or retiring the number 8. Oh, they're retiring it, are they? Or retaining it. So it's Champions League football, playing the best teams in the world, and you want to pay like 20 quid for a ticket, they can have. Absolutely, Lewis. It's just mad, isn't it? Yeah, I applied for the PSG game and got me and my dad's tickets are 120 quid. Do you know, that's the thing though. A Champions League game, you're going to pay more money. And I don't know where Dortmund fans are coming from on this. I know in Germany, I think for a season ticket or something over there, something stupid like 180 quid or something like that. But come on, you're playing the Champions League for God's sake. Alan says PSG not the same team if no Mbappe. Absolutely. Nothing to fear. Bring PSG. Let's have a look at what they did against Barcelona, what we did against Barcelona at home. Absolutely. £19 costs more to get in the likes of Hartlepool and Spennymoor, says Mad Mag. Absolutely. Let's give a shout out to Spennymoor and South Shields because they're flying in the National League North, aren't they? Wow. She given tweeted he's on Match of the Day 2 tonight. Nice one, Tangi. She'll be bouncing. Yes, he will be. Gary says, Tony, a question for you. Remember, before the season started, I asked you and Rolly how many times we'd win 8-0 this season and you were dubious. Hate to say it, I told you so, love. Do you know what? You did say that. And I was just more like, are we going to win an 8-0 this season? I don't know. But you know what? Yeah, you're absolutely right. And fair play, Gary. Fair play, mate. Absolutely. Ian says, yeah, the new law worked out for us today and late last week when they disallowed pen. Yeah. I mean, look, does that come off his head, hit his hand, and yeah. And now they've got the cheek. PGMOL have got the cheek now to turn around to Brentford and apologise for giving us that penalty, saying that Anthony Gordon's that penalty, the challenge on Gordon from the keeper shouldn't have stood and it should have been overturned. I think that's because Thomas Frank made his mouth go. Coffee says, hi, Tony and all. Hi, Coffee. But going back on that penalty, the first goal that we scored, when Wilson scored, that was a legitimate goal, choked off. So I think the penalty was karma. So it was justice. I didn't know you went live. Yeah, a lot of people have said that, mate. Yeah. Ian says, Coffee. Lewis, thank you very much, Lewis. He's been a member for 3 months. Thank you very much. Tanji says, Carragher was very reluctant to comment on the match today. I wonder why. Probably realising that Newcastle are going to be a top 4 contenders again this season. Absolutely, Tanji, you know. We're above Man United. You know, I keep saying it, but if we'd only beat Liverpool that day, how things would have been, you know. But, you know, it is what it is. Coffee says, woo, 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 I'm so happy. So many goals. Who doesn't love a goal fest? Absolutely, Coffee. Mad Mag, talking to Coffee as well. There was a lady reading the Bible during the game. I think she wanted some divine intervention, didn't she? Lewis says, £21 for a concession ticket at Gateshead Stadium. There you go. They need divine intervention to get in that goal today. Yeah, absolutely.
I wish we could score 8 against the Mackhams. Do you know what, Coffee? That'll happen one day. That will happen. Jack says, more Burnley, Tony. Remember, you predicted Burnley to finish it. Do you know what it is, Jack? I did. And that's the thing, though, Jack, right? And I'm looking at that now thinking I made a mistake. I am really surprised how Burnley has struggled. I really thought under Vincent Company, they would have been a lot better than what they were. Yes, I didn't think they would have beat Man City. And I thought they were very unlucky against Man United last night, I must admit. But I am really surprised Burnley are not out of the bottom three. I really am surprised because I thought Vincent Company, if anything of them three promoted teams, I would have said Burnley would be doing the best. And so I don't think they're going to finish 8th this season, Jack. I think even if they finish 17th, they'll be happy. Ian says PJ Moella has spent his name, Bob. No, absolutely. Mackhams and Man U fans were having a go at us after the first goal, and the remaining 7 goals quieting the noise on Twitter. Yeah, absolutely, Lewis. Thank you very much. Tanji says Thomas Frank's no excuses getting beat off Scouse Mackhams last night. You would have thought that would have been a home banker, wouldn't you? And now how high the Everton fans are in the team are, they'll probably go to that game at home against Luton next week and Luton trounce them. Let's hope they do. I hope so. No problem. You're welcome. Alan says, totally agree about the disallowed goal against Brentford. Karma pen, absolutely. Was great seeing Botman scoring, was buzzing for now he's broken his duck and see him getting more. Yeah, and he done it and Botman did it on his 50th appearance for the tour, so there we go, Ian. Hi, Tony. Another one that doesn't realise I was on. Adventure Me live stream was lucky today, mind, lol. We was lucky, Ian. We was bloody brilliant, mate. Yeah, absolutely. But nice to see you, Ian. And the Mackhams got beat Ian as well, so even better. Our goal difference +9, yeah. Glad we signed Gordon. He was abused so much by Everton fans, and Eddie Howe polished him into a really, really good player. Do you know what? This is what I said at the start, Coffee. Look, I said this in my video when we first signed him back in January, or when we were thinking on signing him. I'd done an Anthony Gordon special I put out there, and at the time, and go back. People can go and watch it if they want. If they don't believe what I'm saying, but at that time I said, look, Anthony Gordon is a rough diamond who needs smoothing out. And I think Eddie Howe is the type of manager who could smooth them out. Under Frank Lampard and that coaching staff at Everton was so poor, there was no way Anthony Gordon was going to succeed. And I said, it might be a gamble. I says, but it might not happen this season, but give him till next season. And look, it's paying off now. We're seeing the dividends of that. Coffee says, I think YouTube notifications are on holiday this Sunday. I think they are, yeah. YouTube being YouTube, it's not send out notifications. Yeah, absolutely. It's just absolutely mad. I mean, look, Pope didn't have a lot to do today in goal either, did he? So, been watching loads of different live streams today. Tony can't keep up. That's fine, and no worries, mate. It's hard, isn't it? There's so many of us out there. But yeah. But I thought this guy played really well today, Bruno. As I say, maybe he's got that monkey off his back now, the contract, now that the contract's signed and sealed, that's probably allowing him to play his football better, which is fine. Though Dan Burn had a good game as well. Took his goal well. And I thought, again, great performance from Dan Burn. Kieran Trippier, yeah, what can we say about this guy? But, assists. His delivery was spot on today from Trippier. So absolutely fantastic today was our Kieran Trippier. Sven Botman getting his first goal for us on his 50th appearance. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Deserves it. And so pleased. And hopefully now he's broke his duck, he might get a few more as well. So great to see Botman do so well on that. Miggy Almiron took his goal very well, as we all know. Callum Wilson managed to get on the score sheet, so thank God he got on the score sheet. He was probably not happy at half time, thinking, oh God, not one striker's on the score. The strikers are not on the score sheet, and it's midfielder and defenders. Two defenders and a midfielder. So, yeah, so nice to see that happening. Great to see Isak get on the score sheet as well. That goal that he scored, he sat the defender on his arse and then waited till the keeper went down and placed it. And great goal. Longstaff, great engine, had a great game as well today. I thought he was outstanding. So was Elliot Anderson as well. I thought he had a great game today as well. Really good. But yeah, overall, I thought the whole team played well. But obviously, I look at, it's hard to pick a man of the match because so many players have played so well. But the man of the match for me today, without a shadow of a doubt, is this fella, and that's Anthony Gordon. He was terrific when he came on, and you could see when he came on what he wanted to do. And do you know what? I think £45 million is going to be a snip for this guy. I really do. This guy's got a huge future ahead of him. He really has. And we're seeing the benefits of it this season. Maybe the Euros in the summer, going there, starting 6 out of 7 games, is probably just done his confidence the world of good. Because he didn't start that Germany game, the last game in the group. But I think his confidence is sky high. And yeah, so all in all, I have to say Anthony Gordon today was man of the match for me. Yes, there's other players, Trippier, as I say, behind him, Bruno, but I've got to give it to Anthony Gordon. He is definitely man of the match today. And so yeah. And this award that I'm going to put on screen is going to a special man. Now, a man who has always had things to say about us last season. He's had things to say about us this season. And because a certain organisation has now had to go and apologise to him, this man is getting this special award. And this man is called Thomas Frank of Brentford. And he is getting Cock of the Week. Because Thomas Frank, you are Cock of the Week, complained about us last season, dark arts and all that. Saying that last week was never a penalty. Well, sorry. And now he's getting an apology from PGMOL. Absolutely disgusting. So, Thomas Frank, there's your award, your Cock of the Week. You probably don't watch this stream, but if you do, I hope you like your award. Because that's exactly what you are, a cock. Right. See if anybody else agrees with me. Thomas Frank, Cock of the Week. Right, let's get into some comments. Because I know since I've been talking there, the comments have come flying in. Trevor says, Gordon not enjoying his football at Everton, but now you can see what a player he's turned out to be. Absolutely, Trevor. Absolutely, 100%. He's playing much better now. Alan said, I do remember you saying, let go and have some time under Howe. Absolutely, Alan. Thanks, mate. Yeah, definitely. As I know at the time when we were looking at signing them, people were a bit sceptical, but, and everybody's got their own opinions, but you've just got to give some players a chance, and that's the thing. Dan Byrne was doing crossing at the box like, wow, yeah, he was brilliant today, wasn't he? What's the story of Bruno having a release clause in his contract, says Ian? Yeah, he's got a £100 million release clause in his contract. Well, that's what they say, it's $100 million. Apparently it was that either him or his agent asked for it to be put in there. But it doesn't necessarily mean because that release clause is met that he leaves. All it means is if, say, for instance, say Liverpool come in and say there's 100 million and they activate the release clause. He can then say to the club, I'll go and talk to Liverpool. but he might not talk to Liverpool. But you can see how much this team means to. He loves the club. He loves it, yeah. But I think in some ways it's a nice little insurance policy we've got, because if he does go and somebody has to act, if it does get activated, you have to pay that out in full. So imagine our FFP status going up a lot. So, and I don't think it'll be activated this season. I think it'll be maybe the start next summer when it'll come into action. Maybe we don't know the ins and outs. Nobody's actually said anything. So, while we don't like a release clause, we just have to accept it. But we know he's signed a new deal, and that's the main thing. Difference between Gordon and the SM is that Gordon runs more aggressively past defenders, unlike the Michael Jackson step overs and indecision that ESM does. Do you know what it is? I think a lot of people now are forgetting about ESM, and that's the thing. Gordon's taking a lot of the minds of it. You're right. Gordon does everything. Gordon's very direct. He's very direct. I mean, he took his goal so well today. That curling shot, what a goal that was. What a beauty. Gary says, have you noticed when Bruno's Longstaff, he runs the game? Yeah, he does, absolutely. Yeah, that fan that threw Bottle Anderson's head needs to be arrested. Well, that's what I said, Coffee. The scumbag needs to be arrested and banned. Congratulations to Bruno and his wife welcoming another little boy in the world. Or is she pregnant? I can't remember. She's pregnant, isn't she? I don't think she's had the baby yet. Longstaff seems to benefit. Bruno says, Olin, absolutely. Ian says, I knew he would be today would be special. Botman scored a goal. Absolutely. And his 50th appearance. Wilson's header through the keeper's legs was magic, wasn't it just? What a goal that was. Great cross from Trippier as well. After his goal, Bruno ran to the crowd and said, I'm effing staying good to hear. Absolutely. Harvey Barnes' sub was a blessing in disguise, says Coffee. I don't like to see players go off injured, though. Longstaff and Byrne on the score sheet as well, Ian. Jody Boy's taking over, absolutely mad mag. Coffee says, just wish Anderson got a goal. Yeah, it would have been nice. It would have been nice if Anderson had got a goal. But you know what? It's just one of those things, you know. But again, it was just a fantastic performance from us. And it's what we needed. We had to do it. We had to get it. Gordon man the match for me as well, says, but all played well, says Ian, absolutely. In a way, I think his price tag for Gordon is now 60, 70 million, possibly even more. Could be, yeah. Will be eventually. Gordon turned the game around when he come on. Full credit the man of the match. Yeah, absolutely, indeed, Lee. I mean, you know, he was absolutely fantastic when he come on, Anthony Gordon, I thought. And, you know, he deserved his goal. He really did. You know, for his hard work. And as I see, he assisted as well. So, you know, he's 22, Anthony Gordon, and, you know, nowhere near his peak yet. I mean, this season, you know, he started 5 out of 6 games for us. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists, which isn't bad for you know, somebody who plays left wing or right wing, and his aerial duels are supposed to be his weakness. But, you know, yeah, fair play to the guy. He's been absolutely brilliant for us. And, you know, long may this continue. My thoughts are with that Sheffield United player who sadly passed away. I've got to mention when I come on. Yeah, Maddie Cusack, yeah, such a shame. 27 years of age, Lewis. Did he actually get an apology? Or are you joking, lol? No, he got an apology from PGMOL because it said that penalty shouldn't have stood, David. But when you think that, but apparently it couldn't be overturned, because they can't re-ref the game or something. Stupid, really. I don't believe why he got a bloody apology for. Ben says, hi Tony, how are you doing? We did amazing today. Hammering Sheffield United. I think their manager should be sacked. I think he will get sacked. I really do. I'd be very surprised if he's still a manager by tomorrow morning. It'll just be another manager that Eddie Howe's going to wave goodbye to. No, he did get an apology. I think that should be a new feature on the show, Tony. We certainly get enough contenders for a cock of the week. Yeah, I'll start doing that every week. Yeah, absolutely. John D, just another clown jumping on the bandwagon against NUFC. Exactly. Same as Ten Hag as well, isn't it? He's another one. Morning. And as we saw Eddie say in that dressing room before we played Man United, if I want a quick game, let's fucking give him it then. There's Ten Hag on screen now after last night's game. No words, just blinking his eyes and smiling for the cameras. There we go. Ten Hag. Defo deserves cock of the week, says Lee. Yeah. Cock of the week didn't complain about getting the soft penalty they got last season, though, when Isak had supposed to have kicked their player in the box. Absolutely, Tangi. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because that was never a penalty. Thomas Frank would probably blame the defeat to Everton on us. He would do. And Coffee says, yes, I'm doing well in the Saudi League, and I saw the game between Al Ali and Al Nassr. Different league, and it's Alan says, does a release clause not concern you as a Scouse Rats try to pinch him in the last hour of the window for 100 million? It does, Alan. I mean, I don't like a release clause in all honesty, but it does happen, you see, and that's the thing. But, who knows? Who knows? We just have to wait and see and just hope that, look, we know players come and go. It does happen. We've got Tonali. So if Bruno was to have a move on, we've got Tonali there. But I don't want Bruno to go anywhere. But I don't think he will stay with us for forever. But who knows? Who knows? Let's not worry too much about the clause at the moment, because obviously it may not kick in till next summer. So we'll see what happens. Mad Max says, people saying that if he leaves, it could leave us in the lurch. That's up to Eddie and the Tin Dog to address a certain thing. We are strong enough in the midfield, but it's clear Bruno loves Spain. Yeah, he does. He loves this club, absolutely, 100%. And give compensation Newcastle. Alex on Tomb Review will never forget ESM, Tony. No, he won't. We'll not forget ESM for the things he done for us, because he was, at the time when we were in it, when we needed to stay up and things like that under the previous owner, the Fat Controller. He was the best player in a poor side, honestly. He was, but yeah. But now we're on a different trajectory now. Why would Bruno want to leave a team that's just won the Champions League? That would be great, wouldn't it? All my thoughts are Sheffield United player sadly passed away. Just won champs. You're confident? Yeah, exactly. Notice Bruno assisted Miggy again. It's like Bruno isn't at it either, is Miggy. Yeah. It's great when they're at it like that. Did you see the photo of Amanda Staley smelling the post-match celebration photo? I've not seen it as such, no. I'll see later. I'm heading out to go and play some EA Sports FC 24 before match of the day. Take care, Lewis. Thank you very much. Coffee says, Eddie Howe's opposition manager sacking Marks. Absolutely. Ian says, to be fair, Sheffield United, they've come up and spent no money, so what they expect to do? Yeah, the same players like Tom Davis from Everton, who are shit anyway. Andrew DB says the cock of the week with a funny theme tune. That would be a great add to the show. I'll have to find a funny theme tune, won't I? The 100 million is a starting bid. ESM's found his level, says John D. None of the promoted teams have got out the bottom three, just shows the gap, says Alan. Absolutely. It'll be the first time in, I can't remember how long now, since they've gone down the same season, the whole three. Even if the release clause is triggered, to feel that only Real Madrid would be the only team he would say yes to. Yeah, I think so, Tangi as well. It's up to the player. If Bruno wants to stay, the release clause is meaningless, absolutely. Ian says, let's wait and see what the clauses are with the clause. It could not be triggerable for a few years. It could only apply to teams outside the Prem, so it'll be a cash up front, and Bruno is a good Geordie. Absolutely. Well said, Ian. Well said. Do you know what? You're probably right, mate. Some of Maxi's dribbles and creative play is unforgettable. Great servant to our club, says Mad Mac. Yes, he is absolutely fantastic. Anne says, could not blame him going into Real Madrid, but maybe not till next summer if it has to happen. And let's hope if somebody does, if he did go on his release clause, let's hope it's not 8 hours when the transfer window left, because then we are stuffed. I've sent you a DM, Tony. Okay, I'll have a look at that coffee. Oh, yes, I've just seen it. Yes, absolutely brilliant, that, isn't it? Yeah. Doesn't she look proud, Amanda? Ian says, can't believe Carragher said that people will not like teams winning by 8 goals. Well, I'm an exact decline. Carragher's a cock. Another one that deserves cock of the week. Ian says, Carragher's a knob. Don't listen to his biased rhetoric. It's all against us, absolutely. The way he was talking about James McAtee all the time, I thought, Jesus, calm yourself down. You'll get a hard on, Carragher. Is it a cappuccino? No, it was the picture of Amanda Staveley celebrating in the dressing room, which I'll just share it now on screen. Just bear with me. There we are. There's Amanda celebrating with the players in the dressing room. Absolutely brilliant. So there we go. Tony's face looked worried when reading your comment. I like coffee. Nah, not worried at all. I wasn't expecting anything out of the ordinary. Gary says, I always wondered if Eddie bought Nolly in case Bruno left. Do you know what? That's a great point. It really is, yeah. I mean, when you think on like Sean Longstaff, how important he is now, when people are saying he's important to the team, Sean Longstaff. And when you think a few years back, he could have gone to Man United for 50 million. So thank God we didn't lose him. Tanji says, Carragher shouldn't be allowed on TV after spitting at a woman in a road rage, but Andy Gray and Richard Keys got axed for just words about a female linesman. Yeah, absolutely. Linesman, Tanji. Female linesman. Oh. Say no more, Tanji. Was it a chick with a dick? But yeah, I know what you mean there, Tanji. I'm just taking the bait, mate. Just having a laugh. Ian says, well, Mandy, she came, she gave without taking, and we love you today, well, Mandy. Absolutely. Great photo of Amanda, the queen of the tune, says Lee. Absolutely. Very true. Yeah, absolutely, Tanji. I thought Lewis Hall did his best when he came on his debut. Yeah, he didn't do too bad at all. Alan says, as Rory said earlier, that was a good game Tuesday till Sunday. Now only 3 days till City. Do you think a lot of changes? I think there'll be a few changes. I think City will make a few changes as well, to be honest with you. So, yeah. Jesus, line woman before the war police get me. Yeah, best. Yeah, don't let them get your Tangy. Oh God, Lewis Hall looked super quick on the pitch when he came on. Yeah, he just needs some minutes. That's all. When is Rolly back on the show? I would say probably tomorrow. We'll probably do a review on it, so I'll get Rolly's take on the match. So it'll be tomorrow. I just done this lastminute.com. You were meant to sing it, Tony, man. Oh, sorry. I've never heard Tony sing. Have you heard me sing, Coffee? I've sung on plenty of these videos. I don't like to. Sing too much though, because I can't really sing. Bias says there's no chick with dicks, only men with boobs. Isn't that one in Thailand? If they've got an Adam's apple, they've got to be on that. Oh, for God's sake. Jesus Christ, Bia. Honestly. Oh, never ceases to amaze. You always learn up on this, don't you? Your family help with the 8-0? Yeah, absolutely fantastic, Ben. Brilliant. Yeah, definitely brilliant. Just couldn't believe it. Was just absolutely fantastic. Guys, don't forget though, if you have enjoyed what you see, please do smash that like. It does help the channel. So if you haven't yet smashed that like, please do so. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe, be part of this great community, and the bell notification tells you when I'm live, or a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. Ian says, non-binary person the side of the pitch. New one walk. Okay. I'm learning new things, beer. Predator says, I know Eddie said he wants to compete in all cups, but if sacrifice the Carabao Cup and have a real go at the FA Cup, Champions League and the League, I don't think we have the depth just yet. I don't think we do for all 4 competitions. Absolutely. Are you watching Newcastle again on Match of the Day? Yeah, probably will be. Yeah, definitely. And yeah. So anyway, coming at the end of the show now. But thanks for coming on, guys. It's been a great show. If you have just come on halfway through, you know, catch up by watching a rerun of this as well. But yeah, what's been a great day, you know. 8 goals. Can't go wrong with an 8-0 win. Star of the show, without a doubt, Anthony Gordon. Absolutely fantastic today. Just going to some comments before I come off. Bye, Tony Knoll says coffee. Bye bye to you, mate. And people talking to each other. Ben says, bye, Tsunami. Tony, see you tomorrow on stream. Thank you very much, Ben. See you later, mate. Great day unless you're a Sheffield United manager or a Sheffield United fan. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely coffee. Remember, the future is bright. The future is definitely black and white. And till then, take care, everybody. And let's just quickly go into these comments. Cheers, Tony, mate. Top show, and we are effing back, lads and lasses. Absolutely in. We are. Mad Mag, bye all. Enjoy the rest of your nights and do whatever you're doing. How are you, the lads? Absolutely enjoy your evening as well. Gareth says good night, Tony. Good night to you, Gareth. Gary says, see you, Tony, and all you good people. See you later, Gary. John says, take care, everyone. Have a good week. See you all Tuesday. Yeah, well, we play Wednesday, John, by the way. Lee says, fantastic show, Tony and everyone. We are the mighty Tsunami. Hit the thumbs up. Thanks very much, Lee. Ian says, take care, everyone. Take care. Ian, night, Tony. Night, Ian. Have a good evening. Great show, Tony. Thanks, mate. No worries, John. Thank you for coming on. You know. But until the next show, see you later, guys. Take care. How are you, the lads?